The winter time. Generally a cold, wet, miserable time of year and generally pretty uninspiring to get out on your bicycle, but can deliver some of the best riding year round. So today I'm going to be taking you through a few of my little tips, tricks and hacks to help keep you warm out on the trail. So without further ado, let's go get kitted up and see what we can do there. Let's start with trousers then, or if you're American, pants, but that sounds a bit odd. Well, I'm not sure why we haven't been wearing these for longer. Gone are the days where we go out in the winter wearing a pair of shorts with God knows what else underneath to try and keep us warm. Trousers, they're all the rage at the moment and they have come on a long way. They're not only going to help keep you warm, but actually also offer a little bit more protection from thorns, brambles, splashes, mud. These ones I've got here on my left, well, you can see that they're kind of fleecy lined, so they're going to help keep you a lot warmer. If you're putting in a pretty intense ride, then you might want a lighter weight trouser. It's still going to keep you warm and splash proof, but just not quite as hot. So something a bit thinner like these. It's actually even got perforated holes in just to help with a bit of airflow. Layers then, much like an onion, Shrek or a lasagna, having a lot of layers can be a really crucial thing in the winter. It gives you the opportunity to be comfortable in the amount of clothes that you're wearing. We've all done it then where we've set off for a ride and we've absolutely got so much clothes on, we're like the Michelin man or woman, and you get to the top and you're absolutely baking. You're boiling a bag. Well, the trick here is if you've got many layers on, then you can take off one or two even accordingly and chuck them in your pocket or your backpack. There's nothing worse than setting off on a ride and you've got underneath just a thin race top, but a really big warm coat on. And then when you get to the top, well, you can't take that coat off because you've got barely anything on underneath. So you can then, if you do have the layers, take off accordingly what you need to get to the right temperature. It just gives you that flexibility. What are those layers then? Well, for me, I'll start with a nice close fitting base layer. This one's going to be real nice and snug and keep all that warmth nice and tight to my body. Over the top of that, I'll wear a race jersey, and if it's a chilly one, I'll have a gilet on with that as well. If it's chilly and raining, then over the top of that, then I'll even have a waterproof coat. That way it gives me the chance to either ditch one of these, the race top maybe, or if it does warm up and stops raining, then I can take the coat off as well. So like I said, it just gives you that flexibility and that option on just to really fine tune your body temperature. Now, wind and rain, they're your worst enemies and they often come, well, when it's cold, unfortunately, making a trifecta of terribleness for your hands. Great trick or little hack, if you like, here then is latex gloves. You can slip these bad boys on, as we're going to do now. I'm going in. Put your normal riding glove over the top. Hey presto, wind and waterproof. This is a nice, cheap little hack to keep your hands nice and dry and out of the wind and the elements. They're not going to keep your hands particularly warm because, well, they're not insulated or anything like that, obviously, but part of the warmth comes from not being cold and wet with the wind just battering on them. Don't wear them too long though, because you could get sweaty hands in them and that ain't too good either. We've talked about your little digits, but what else is going to get cold and in the line of fire? Your feet. Now, a great little one here. We had latex gloves for our hands. I don't have any latex gloves for my feet, but I do have some plastic bags knocking around in the van. Pop the old foot in there, slide her in, up we do it. Hey presto. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing and you are going to get some sweaty feet in there. Look, if we just tuck that one in, you'll be none the wiser. And again, you can get really, really good winter specific shoes. They might not be the cheapest, but actually they are very, very good. If you ain't got the cash, well, fashion and function. I'm pretty sure like Lady Gaga or something's done like this anyway already. Yeah, let's go try it out. With the winter months generally comes shorter days, unfortunately. So my top tip here is go on shorter rides, but up the intensity. You'll be out in the elements for less time, so hopefully you won't be as cold, wet and miserable as you might normally be if you were out all day. But by upping the intensity, you should keep warm and still get a great workout out of it as well. Winter, she can be a cruel, unrelenting mistress, ready to chuck it down on you a rain at any moment without giving you any word of warning, which is why this next one I would really recommend. A good waterproof coat is strongly advisable, just taking with you even if it's not raining when you leave the house. Now, coats come in all shapes, sizes, thicknesses and thinnesses, but I'd really recommend getting the best you can afford. just purely because if you've got a good layer on the top, then it's going to keep everything else underneath warm and dry. They do come in also really lightweight packable versions as well, so you can just chuck them in your back pocket or in your backpack if you want, but I really wouldn't get anything too thick or bulky either. But anyway, that's enough. Before it does rain, it's a bit chilly, so I think it's best time we got riding. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you get out on your bike lots this winter and you manage to stay nice, warm and toasty. We're gonna go for a spin. Come on, Josh. Come on, bud. All right, we're not. Goodbye, everybody.